particular to
Governor Eddie Calvo acknowledges that for decades, the government of Guam's handling of solid waste on the island was unacceptable.
We want to congratulate the receiver in making improvements. We have a responsibility to our people in this environment.
The administration that inherited the federal receiver, however, understands that it has a fiduciary responsibility on how the people of Guam's money is spent.
This is not mudslinging. This is all about openness and transparency. Our administration has been open and transparent.
But the governor isn't so convinced that the receiver has been transparent, as GBB Representative David Manning and other GBB officials have refused to provide financial reports. Both the administration and the Guam Solid Waste Authority have been trying to get a clear-cut answer on how much more money will be necessary to close the books on the ORDOT consent decree. The federal receiver has indicated that some of the consent decree projects are more than $63 million over budget, and that the government would have to pay at least $14 million for post-closure environmental monitoring of the ORDOT dump, all costs that were not figured into the original $202 million bond financing that was expected to be enough to cover consent decree projects.
But one thing we don't want to do is we don't want to be put in a position where when the handoff is given to the people of Guam, that we are left with something that will have terrible consequences in terms of the ratepayers, the consumers, in the years ahead.
On Tuesday, the administration took issue with just how much taxpayers have had to pay for the receiver, with millions being paid to upper management in wages, more than $500,000 in first-class travel, as well as various questionable expenses.
Whether it's a steak and lobster, or a first-class ticket, or it's a beautiful hotel suite in Waikiki. I think it's important that at the very least, we open this up to the white-hot light of public scrutiny.
And that's not including the multi-million-dollar access road mistake, where the receiver built an access road to Dandan from Route 4, all designed around a parcel thought to be private property, but was later determined to belong to the government.
Who's going to eat that mistake? This gentleman and his company are going to move back to Tennessee, but in the meantime, Tun Maria and Tun Jose and the rest of this island is going to pay for that mistake.
And then there's the issue of some questionable track records of some of the receiver's representatives. An internet search revealed that Chase Anderson is named in several news articles alleging improper conduct while employed as the Nashville Metro Public Works Solid Waste Director that owned and operated a waste-to-energy facility in Tennessee. Anderson had been informed about a fire hazard with waste piling up in the facility. A week later, there was a massive blaze at the plant that resulted in its closure for more than a week. Further investigation revealed that Anderson had allowed overfilling of the facility's tip floor. Emails exchanged between Anderson and receiver representative David Manning, who was also the Metro Finance Director and a member of the Solid Waste Board, revealed that Anderson was forcing a company to dump its garbage at the facility to collect dumping fees. Following the fire in 2002, there were several lawsuits filed against Metro Solid Waste for breach of contract. According to the Nashville City paper, the Tennessee Court of Appeals upheld the judgment, finding that Metro wrongfully attempted to modify the payment and billing procedures and reduce services agreed upon by the parties. In 2005, Anderson resigned as the Solid Waste Director. While the governor says he's read some accounts of the players behind the receivership and some claims of misconduct, he says the government just wants more transparency on what's being paid on the dime of the people of Guam. Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Indy Egan.